Hello student, today's topic is Dandi March. Mahatma Gandhi announced that he would lead a march to break one of the most widely disliked laws in British India, which gave the state of monopoly in the manufacture and sale of salt. His picking on the salt monopoly was another illustration of Gandhi's tactical wisdom. For in every Indian household, salt was indispensable, yet people were forbidden from making salt even for domestic use, compelling them to buy it from shops at a high price. The state monopoly over salt was deeply unpopular. By making it his target, Gandhiji hoped to mobilize a wider discontent against British rule. Where most Indians understood the significance of Gandhi's challenge, the British Raj apparently did not. Although Gandhiji had given advance notice of his salt march to the Viceroy Lord Irwin failed to grasp the significance of the action. On 12th March 1930, Gandhiji began walking from his ashram at Sabarmati towards the ocean. He reached his destination 3 weeks later, making a fistful of salt as he did and thereby making himself a criminal in the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, parallel salt marches were being conducted in other parts of the country. As with non-cooperation, apart from the officially sanctioned nationalist campaign, there were numerous other streams of protest across large part of India. Peasants reached the hated colonial forest laws that kept them and their cattle out of the woods in which they had once roamed free. In some towns, factory workers went on strike, while lawyers boycotted British courts and students refused uh, attendance government-run educational institutions. As in 1920 to 1922, now to Gandhi's call had encouraged Indians of all classes to make manifest their own discontent with colonial rule. The rulers responded by detaining the dissenters. In the wake of the Salt March, nearly 60,000 Indians were arrested, among them, of the course, Gandhiji himself. The progress of Gandhi's march to the seashore can be traced from the secret reports filed by the police officials deputed to monitor his movement. These reproduce the speeches he gave at the villages in Roor, in which he called upon local officials to renounce government employment and join the freedom struggle. In one village, Vasna, Gandhiji told the upper caste that if you are out for Swaraj, you must serve untouchables. You would not get Swaraj merely by the repeal of the salt taxes or other taxes. For Swaraj, you must make amends for the wrong which you did to the untouchables. For Swaraj, Hindus, Muslims, Parsis and Sikhs will have to unite. These are the steps towards Swaraj. And by Gandhiji himself attended a lot of meetings which were called from far distances of the countryside, and the progress of salt march can also be traced from the another source, the American news magazine's Time. This to begin with scorned at Gandhi's looks, writings with distance of his spindly frame and his sprightly loins. Thus, in its first report on the march, Time was deeply spectacle, the salt march reaching its destination. Gandhiji himself saluted as a saint and statesman who was using Christian acts as a weapon against men with the Christian beliefs.